Hello there, very good evening. It's Wednesday night and I heartily welcome you to this week's edition of News with the Extra Touch. To the Muslim Ummah, I hope the Ramadan blessings are falling. And to the rest of the News Extra family, I hope the week so far has been fruitful. Tonight is a harvest of stories and we start with a big one. June 12th. You know what that stands for? Finally, it gets its rightful place in history as federal government declares the day Democracy Day in Nigeria. Also tonight, the Federal Executive Council has approved tax relief for medium and small enterprises. Another good one, you will say. In other stories, the Niger Delta features prominently in government plans as Vice President unveils a new vision website, while Senate confirms INEC nominees. We also have special reports across the country on infrastructure development in the last 3 years. Our usual segments, business news, foreign news and sports are not left out. Plus, stories on arts, politics, agriculture and social investment. Well, let me not tickle you further with today's lineup. Let me excite you with the stories proper. So, sit back, relax. Welcome to News Extra. I am Fatima Abbas Hassan. The federal government has decided that with effect from this year, June 12th will be marked as Democracy Day in the country. The government has also decided to award posthumously the highest honor of the land, GCFR, to late Chief MKO Abiola, the presumed winner of the June 12th, 1993 annulled elections. His running mate as Vice President, Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, is also to be invested with GCON. Similarly, the late human rights lawyer who fought for the actualization of June 12th elections and entrenchment of democracy in Nigeria, the late Chief Gani Fayemi, SAN, is to be awarded posthumously a GCON. The federal government has approved the reduction in the tax burden for small and medium-scale enterprises, as well as other ambiguous areas of task as part of efforts towards enhancing ease of doing business in the country. Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun announced this while briefing newsmen after the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Adam Sambu has more on that.
The Federal Executive Council, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, deliberated extensively on the national tax policy and resolved that residential property, leases on rentals, public transportation, and life insurance are no longer vettable.
In the short term, of course, that means a revenue loss for the government, but we think in the long run that's the right thing to do. It's improving ease of doing business and reducing the tax burden on our people, which is really one of the objectives of this government. Currently, for SMEs, the rate of tax is 20%, but the proposal is now to reduce it further to 15%. Again, this is part of our efforts to stimulate the economy, get more people back and active and reduce their tax burden.
The council also approved an amendment to the law on gas flaring, insisting that airing oil companies be appropriately penalized instead of a charge.
The long run, of course, is to eliminate gas flaring completely, and there's a plan to do so, I believe, by 2020. But those in the interim, let's make it more expensive for those who choose to pollute our environment by flaring gas rather than re-injecting it. So this hopefully is going to improve compliance with our objectives around gas flaring.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Budget and National Planning has been given the go-ahead to engage more unemployed Nigerians under the Social Investment Program. This time through what it called the N-Power Knowledge category, the N-Power Build, as well as the N-Power Creative.
What we got approval today, the total number of beneficiaries is 8,400. Is it enough? No, but we're doing this gradually and we're going to do more. The target for the N-Power Knowledge was 25,000, and this is the first tranche that we're deploying in the N-Power Knowledge. At the end of this training, each of this group of beneficiaries will be going with the devices that will be providing to them. The devices will have uploaded on them special software specific to the skills that they are trained for. And our target is that when they finish the training and the training attachment, that they will themselves be self-employed and at the end of the day be able to even employ more people.
Government cannot create all of the jobs in the country, obviously, but it is providing the enabling environment for everyone in the private sector and all of that to create jobs. And a lot is going on. You were in the room here when the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria came with RIFA. They credited the administration with the creation of 6 million new jobs in the area of agriculture. That's enormous. So by the time you add the numbers, the APC administration under President Muhammadu Buhari will have exceeded the promise that it gave to Nigerians.
Malam Garba Shehu also announced the council's approval of 711 million naira for the construction and furnishing of a 3-story faculty building for the National Open University of Nigeria by the Ministry of Education.
They relocated to Abuja from Lagos in March 2016. Only 4 out of the 8 faculties have moved, so they are making effort to bring the others.
499 million naira is also to be expended in the purchase of project monitoring vehicles by the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing. A similar approval of 1.6 billion naira has also been granted the Nigeria Customs Service to acquire 68 vehicles that will be used in monitoring and patrolling the nation's borders effectively towards minimizing incidences of smuggling. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In another development, President Muhammadu Buhari is reassuring Nigerians of voting age not to hesitate in exercising their franchise in the forthcoming elections, saying under his watch the votes will count. This was at a special valedictory session organized by the Federal Executive Council in honor of former Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. Again, State House correspondent Adam Sambu has the details.
Dr. Kayode Fayemi recently resigned as Minister of the Federal Republic to fly the flag of the governing APC at the forthcoming governorship election in Ekiti State. President Muhammadu Buhari is hopeful that APC will win freely and fairly.
Voter education should be emphasized, and please go and emphasize this to our constituencies. Let Nigerians be respected, that they can vote anybody across any party, at any constituency. I think that will give them the pride to voluntarily go and vote.
The president was emphatic that the vacuum created by the exit of Dr. Fayemi from the mines and steel development sector of the economy may not be easy to fill.
As I sit here, I watch every minister that wanted to talk. His constructive contributions reveal not only intellect, but his commitment to the progress of this government and the country.
Members of the council took turns to eulogize the former minister, describing him as not only forthright, but worthy of reliance and trust.
I must confess that working with Fayemi has been a learning experience. He's a true goal-getter, brilliant and hardworking. The sector will miss him.
And I also knew he is the best that can happen to his state because of what he did before.
We do need, from an economic perspective, more governors that will align with what the federal government is doing so that we can start to really see the impact of the transformation of the economy at grassroots level. And I believe that he's going back to Ekiti. He'll become a model governor.
You cannot talk about my success in the Governors Forum without calling Governor Kayode. He knows the battle. He knows that there's a battle, and he's a man of battle, and I'm sure he will deliver that.
He's a team player. He's very kind-hearted. As you go, we'll go with you in prayers. Some of us will go physically to campaign for you.
I believe that he needs our continuous support because the game is just starting. I want to wish him success in the campaign and subsequently becoming the next governor of Ekiti State.
In an emotion-laden voice, Dr. Kayode Fayemi was full of gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari for what he called the extraordinary privilege accorded him to contribute to the transformation of Nigeria's mining sector for economic development.
There's enough evidence that this sector has witnessed growth and development. Thank you, Mr. President, for not objecting to my return into Ekiti on this rescue mission to bring Ekiti back to its pride of place, to the path of peace, and to the path of development, not just in the interest of Ekiti people, but in the overall interest of our country.
From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The benefits of the Sukuk Bond Initiative are beginning to manifest. One of them is the Benin-Auchi Road federal government project. There is growing confidence by road users who ply the road, and small businesses are also growing along it. Apart from this and water projects in Edo State, critical infrastructure in Ekiti and Delta states are also receiving attention, while improved power in Ondo State is boosting profit in sales and services. Agatha Egware Ojo takes it up from here.
The Aduawa axis of the Benin-Auchi Highway wears a clean look. Before now, when it rains, it's difficult to pass through this area because of the volume of flood water, and road users spent hours on gridlocks that became a permanent situation on the road. Today, it's a pleasurable ride for motorists, and small business owners on this ever-busy way are the happier for it.
Oh, it was horrible to the extent you have to use a barefoot and walk inside the erosion. 13
kilometers of the Sukuk-funded section of the highway passing through over 8 communities in Edo North is complete.
We have quarries here, and it will enable vehicles, the trucks, who are coming to buy from the quarry so that they will be able to move smoothly.
Apart from roads in Edo, potable water has been provided for the people of Ugboha community and environs in East and Southeast local government area, with the completed Northern Asian Water Project already handed over to the state government. In Akure, Ondo State, residents can boast of regular power supply and less expenses incurred in the purchase of petrol and diesel for their businesses.
There is a very great improvement in power supply as far as Akure monopoly is concerned.
In Asaba, the second Niger bridge is under construction. Work is also in progress in the 2.8-kilometer road leading to the bridge.
What is being done now is a substructure. By the time we have the piers as we are then put in place and the beams launched, people will appreciate.
The mass housing scheme at Ugbolu, site and services at Iselazagba, and the 2016 National Housing Scheme located along the Benin-Asaba Expressway are also projects of the federal government.
Development is moving towards that area, and if you get there, you marvel what the federal government is doing.
Construction of federal housing estate at Agrikolokwe area of Ado Ekiti, modern hospital at Igbarode Ekiti, and block of classrooms at Ogote Diki at some federal government projects in Ekiti State. The Efanlaye Ekiti Tare linking Iwaleja Erima roads in Osun State is another capital project being carried out by the federal government in Ekiti State. Citizens in these areas hope for more development, which they say can be guaranteed through continuity in governance. In Benin, Agatha Egwaroju, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is reassuring Nigerians that he will not abdicate his responsibility of safeguarding the nation's assets and ensuring that they are utilized effectively and efficiently for public good. The president was speaking at the breaking of Ramadan fast with traditional rulers and religious leaders from across the country on Tuesday. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the details.
President Muhammadu Buhari was emphatic that if Nigeria had explored and exploited its abundant resource potentials, national development aspirations would have been met long before now. His administration, he therefore promised, will continue to do its very best towards genuinely addressing public concerns and placing the country on the path of sustainable growth and development.
This country has been endowed by God with material and human resources. We are going to work very hard to exploit these gifts from Almighty God. Please, when you go back, tell your constituencies that we are very mindful of the position they find themselves. We are holding this trust, and that knowingly we will not abuse the trust, we will not allow anybody to abuse it.
The Oni of Ife, who spoke on behalf of traditional rulers, assured the president that in them he has dependable allies in national salvation.
We, the traditional rulers in this country, we will continue to support all your beautiful initiatives, things that will take this country forward, things that will be of common benefit to the common man on the street, things that will take Nigeria to another level, things that we can see that it's in the interest of Nigeria. We will continue to pray for you, and anytime you call on us, have it at the back of your mind that we're there for you.
A similar assurance was given by Ambassador Shehu Galadanchi on behalf of religious leaders.
On behalf of all the ulama, we have to thank you for what you have been doing in this country. You are able to bring a lot of changes in this country because you love this country. You want this country to prosper. And it is only when you have the opportunity to continue to finish what you are doing that, inshallah, this country will be a better country for everybody.
Prayers were offered for the nation and its leaders. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
A new website aimed at further enhancing communication between the federal government and the people of the Niger Delta region has been unveiled by the Vice President. As explained, the commitment of the federal government to ensuring all its planned projects are well executed is on course, hence the need for the people to be well informed about the vision and for cooperation. Edobo Yamu, Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta in the Office of the Vice President, and Arukenu Umukoro, Special Assistant on Communication Project, comment on the Niger Delta New Vision and the website.
Program of this government, and it's designed to develop the environment, the region that is, the Niger Delta region, and it is a forthright partnership between the federal government, the state government, the private sector, and the community. It is a program designed to ensure that the programs of this government, of this administration, actually gets to the community, and as opposed to what obtained in the past, whereby a lot of government programs were hijacked by a few.
Is just part of the communication strategy of the Niger Delta New Vision team of the Office of the Vice President, which intends to communicate effectively to the Niger Delta region and to the people of the country what the federal government is doing in terms of developing the Niger Delta through the New Vision. And you know what the New Vision is all about? It's designed as a partnership between state government, federal government, local government, private sector, and the local communities, which is to see how all of this partnership can help to develop the region.
And we know that delivering the president has become easy in Delta State for a multiple of reasons. The president has performed very well. He's been very good to the South-South.
The 61st UNWTO CAC meeting hosted by Nigeria has been described as one of the best in the history of the continental body. Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, Zurab Polelish Kavili, stated this at a joint media briefing with host minister Lai Mohammed. Anthony Forson has the details.
Zurab Polelish-Kavili said the United Nations World Tourism Organization will, by this outing, leverage on the successes of the meeting to promote Nigeria in becoming a top tourist destination in the world.
We had very interesting discussion with
ministers, and we made very concrete decisions how to continue and how to work with the African continent, which has full support and from our organization, and we are very glad that we are going on the right way.
Showering encomium on the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, for putting Nigeria on the global tourism map. He thanked the minister for pushing Nigeria as a new tourist destination. He particularly commended the administration's visa on arrival policy under President Muhammadu Buhari, saying he has made Nigeria one of the most accessible countries in the world and urged other countries to emulate Nigeria. He added that the organization has an ambitious plan which the Nigerian outing has provided a platform for. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said he feels fulfilled as delegates to the meeting were treated to the best Nigeria can showcase.
I must say that we are quite satisfied with the way the meeting has gone so far. This includes the impressive attendance, the quality of contributions, spectacular nature of the social events, and in particular, the passion and commitment of the Secretary General, who has attended all the key events.
Lai Mohammed expressed gratitude to the United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General and his team for their support and guidance during the 3-day event. Over 500 delegates, including 26 ministers and 166 foreign delegates from 34 countries, are attending the meeting. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTN News.
Thank you, Anthony. Now, since its inauguration in June 2015, the 8th Senate has considered more than 200 executive nominees for various positions, the latest being the confirmation of 4 nominees as INEC resident electoral commissioners. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unko has more on that.
I make the following findings.
Chairman Senate Committee on INEC, Suleiman Nazif, presented the report of the committee, which recommended the confirmation of Festus Okoye, Monde Udotom, and Garba Atahiru Madami, but rejected the confirmation of Ahmed Mahmoud.
And having been satisfied about their exposure, experience, performance, qualifications, and integrity, except Ahmed Bello Mahmoud, who had petitioned against him from the state.
But Senator Kabir Marafa from Zamfara State raised a point of order against the committee's decision to reject the confirmation of Ahmed Mahmoud.
Mr. President, this report, again, I want to say, is not a true testimony of what happened in the committee of INEC.
Eventually, the recommendation of the committee to reject Ahmed Mahmoud's confirmation was upturned in the committee of the whole, and Ahmed Mahmoud was also confirmed.
Will the Senate approve the nomination of Ahmed Bello Mahmoud as resident electoral commissioner representing Zamfara State? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
A very painstaking work they've done, and for the beautiful recommendation they've made.
In commemoration of the 2018 World Environment Day, the Senate called for an increase in tax payable on single-use plastic bags and bottles to discourage use in order to save the environment. This followed a motion moved by Senator Rose Oko and 3 other senators, as the legislators called on the National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials to victims of rainstorm and fire outbreak in Argungu local government area of Kebbi State, moved by Senator Abdullahi Yahaya from Kebbi North.
Mandate legislation on adequate waste disposal and recycling system.
But we need to stop oil companies from doing things that will bring about the spillage.
It leads to the pollution of the environment. Aquatic life is being lost. People's means of livelihood destroyed.
The interim report of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Local Content on the need to carry out an audit of the Egina oil project, presented by Senator Adiola Solomon from Lagos West, was considered. The report of the conference committee that effected some corrections on the already passed Petroleum Industry Governance Bill has been presented and approved by the Senate. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
And the House of Representatives has passed a second reading, a bill for an act to amend the National Health Insurance Scheme Act 2004 to improve on the healthcare delivery system of the country. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali has details of this and other proceedings at Wednesday's plenary.
The Act establishing the National Health Insurance Scheme, when amended and signed into law, will make it mandatory for every Nigerian to key into the scheme. Sponsor of the bill, Representative Ajaokuta, believes the scheme will protect families from financial hardship.
If amended, 2 persons shall now oust 1 person, as originally provided for in the Principal Act.
The Speaker, Ajaokuta, referred the bill to House Committee on Healthcare Services for further action. Among motions adopted during plenary was a call on NNPC to resume regular supply of fuel to floating mega stations at Boni, sponsored by Representative Dagomi Abiante, while the House also resolved to investigate the NNPC concerning all transactions in low-power fuel oils, known as LPFO, as requested by Representative Edward Pojok.
LPFO, which manufacturing industries rely greatly on, is a critical product which could generate huge revenue for Nigeria.
Under motions of urgent public importance, Representative Johnson Gaza's motion that agreements entered into by Nigerian Ports Authority with service providers and commission agents be investigated was adopted, as well as the matter raised by Representative Benilar, which bordered on alleged contempt of legislature by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Science and Technology, Mrs. Amina Shamaki. The Permanent Secretary was said to have interfered with proceedings during a public hearing, as she allegedly directed officials of the ministry to vacate the venue. House Committee on Justice has been mandated to investigate the matter. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Well, hope again rises for Ajaokuta Steel project as Kogi elders make commitment to its completion. The details of this and other development stories after this break. Join us again.
There's a passion inside each of us, waiting to be expressed. It turns the beauty into the beast, the mouse into a lion, and brings the bear to his knees. All for that ultimate moment, victory. But one fan's victory is another fan's pain. That's why tomorrow we do it all over again. For just 100 Naira, you get 250 megabytes to catch each of the 64 matches live on StarTimes app with Glow. Catch all the live matches and express your passion. Text BUZZ to 105 and download Glow Cafe. Great supporters of African football. Glow, grandmasters of data.
From the 21st to the 23rd of June 2018, more than 300 of the world's influential media professionals, including editors, senior media executives, leading journalists, academics, and social commentators, will converge on Abuja, Nigeria, as the International Press Institute holds its World Congress in Nigeria for the very first time. Expected dignitaries include 4 African presidents and participants from 150 nations to deliberate on the theme,
Why Good Journalism Matters, Quality Media for Strong Societies.
President Muhammadu Buhari will deliver the opening address at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, and IPI World Congress Organizing Committee Chairman, Nduka Obaigbena, welcome IPI Executive Board Chairman, John Yearwood, Executive Director, Barbara Triumphi, and all delegates to the IPI World Congress 2018. Tony O. Iradia, Chairman, Media and Publicity Committee, Announcer.
If you don't get money, hide your face. You can call me small doctor. Omo ya teacher. Wọ́n ti gba penalty lọ throwing.
Smartphone Network.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force. You're welcome back. It is good to know you are out there watching News Extra tonight. In this segment, we begin with development stories. Now, do you know that the infrastructural development across the country is triggering a positive catalyst effect on the people? Oyinaya Kalioka in this special report takes a look at one of such effects as she visited some stations of the Abuja-Kaduna standard gauge railway inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016.
Holding onto the picture of the train he drew, 6 years Adoniyi Bajeha is boarding the train for the first time in Nigeria, even though he had boarded trains in other countries. How are you going to show this drawing?
I'm going to my friends.
You want to show them how the train is?
Yes.
So what is this?
The wheels.
Really? What of this?
The tracks.
Ah, this is lovely. This is so lovely. Feeling intrigued with his two brothers, they are among hundreds of passengers now boarding the Abuja-Kaduna standard train.
There's nothing like good transportation. With that, the economy will improve, and then the citizen will know that really the government is working, it cares for them.
With 8 trips Monday till Saturday and 4 trips on Sunday, the Abuja-Kaduna train now takes about 2,000 passengers daily. Aside from the comfort and ease, the scenic route is beautiful to behold. From the window, one gets a panoramic view of the fields, undulating mountains, and natural beauty. Wishing the ride continues, but there must be a final destination, which happens to be Rigasa train station in Kaduna State. The hustling and bustling here is a sharp contrast from the calm ride, but all the same, it is another adventure. Rigasa is a densely populated community located in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The name Rigasa used to be associated with fear, with criminality. But now, with the coming of the railway, Rigasa is now a new place, a better place, and a place to be. The people are happy, and they are so glad with the president because they say it has opened up a new vista for them.
So before na three I dey carry for hand I dey waka, but now I dey reach one bag plenty, so I dey happy for this very well.
Wow, so you dey happy well.
Well, pass well.
Hey,
I tell you.
The community is attracting government projects. Dualization of the 8 kilometers road linking the area to the railway is ongoing. The general hospital, once neglected, has been renovated. The primary school is being renovated and new classrooms built. And the Rigasa market undergoing construction. For the residents, the train station is a dream come true and a blessing that has opened up several opportunities, giving them a sense of belonging. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
Well, imagine a scenario where people who hitherto would sleep and wake without hope of having just a meal in a day now finding themselves on federal government's payroll of 5,000 naira monthly, thanks to the conditional cash transfer project under the Social Investment Program. Franca Uzamaodua tells us that it is part of the Buhari administration's effort to address poverty, malnutrition, and gaps in children's education.
Poverty means many things to different people. For Mama Amina to Julius of Obasa community in Kogi State, abject poverty took away her dignity and self-worth, having no roof over her head.
Now, so chakada people we select, we gather around. If you rain, they fall. That's so we stand.
But all that is now history. She is one of the beneficiaries of the monthly stipend of 5,000 naira to the poorest Nigerians in local communities through the Conditional Cash Transfer (CCT) program.
That Buhari helped me like this.
She is not alone. Many women in Kogi State have become successful entrepreneurs in agriculture and petty trading through the CCT.
As the time where the money come for my hand, I take and do something where I do farm, buy honey.
My mother used they used a gym before, but the one don't spoil. As Buhari can help those there. Because of that, then my mother can't have money to go and buy this new gym.
The story is not different in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Here, the aged and vulnerable persons have been given a new lease of life. As of January 2018, more than 297,000 beneficiaries have been paid in 20 states across the 6 geopolitical zones.
Every 3 years, we will review the families we've been impacting on to see whether we have actually helped those families. And we will weed out those that are doing well and taking those, the next set of people.
The CCT program lays emphasis on caregivers, majority of whom are women. For now, 24 states have so far registered in the Conditional Cash Transfer Program. 21 are being paid, while the remaining states will be covered before the end of the year. Another dramatic break from the norm under the Buhari administration is the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. It was initially designed to feed 5.5 million children in primary 1 to 3, but currently feeds 8.2 million children across 24 states. The children are fed an egg a week.
If you look at the value chain, the agricultural revolution that this is creating at the grassroots, the benefit is unbelievable.
In all of this, the Social Investment Program is seen as one of the most ambitious projects of the Buhari administration, designed to put smiles on the faces of many Nigerians, especially the vulnerable group. Franca Uzoma Olua, NTA News.
Well, some positive development there. Now, the Homegrown School Feeding Program was initiated to keep school children in school, attract others who are out of school, and ensure that children eat nutritious food in schools to develop them physically and mentally. In Ogun State, we hear 95% of the total target public primary schools are benefiting. Shagun Lawole brings us the update.
The Homegrown School Feeding Program for public primary schools started in January 2017 in Ogun State across the 20 local government areas. Currently, 1,510 schools are benefiting from the program, with over 270,000 primary 1 to 3 pupils being fed every day of the week.
Monday, we ate rice and beans. Tuesday, we ate beans.
Because the food is good, and if I'm hungry on break time, they'll give us the food and I'll be happy.
But as we speak, 95% of the schools are captured, and the people that are being fed are primaries 1 to 3 in public primary schools. Except some few schools, about 5%, that they are having issues with, how to get to those communities. Maybe those ones are the extreme areas.
For the objectives of the program to be realized, Ogun State adopted a multi-sectoral approach involving the Ministries of Agriculture, Education, Finance, Health and Information, led by the State Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs.
One of the successful initiatives in social services in Nigeria, I think it's probably the largest and most ambitious investment in social services.
Children are excited about it, and their parents are also very grateful for the opportunity. The food arrives hot.
And on the transportation sector, passengers traveling through the International Airport Lagos have acknowledged that the implementation of the federal government's executive order on ease of doing business has brought about a lot of efficiency in the airport operations and synergy among security agencies. Elizabeth Ewuga, who has been monitoring activities at the airport, tells us more.
To implementation of the policy on ease of doing business at the nation's airport. It was a frustrating experience for travelers going through, especially the international wing of the Lagos airport. Besides interfacing with touts, unnecessary bureaucratic bottlenecks and multiple checks in the hands of different border agencies, the process of obtaining a Nigerian visa was a harrowing experience. But all that has changed with issuance of visas on arrival to passengers at the airport.
It's quite sufficient. They're thorough, they check everything, and if everything is in order, you get your visa. It's very good.
It was processed within 1 week, which I think is very impressive.
A South African resident in Zimbabwe said, although the Nigerian Immigration Service has harmonized airport immigration forms to reduce paperwork for visitors and investors, they can still do more to make the process more customer-friendly.
It's called a QR code, quick recognition code. What it does is you simply scan, and it will give you all the information. The information is fast and accurate.
This is the arrival lobby of Murtala Muhammed International Airport. As you can see from the background, it's not as crowded as it used to be. Security agencies at different checkpoints have been streamlined to just one point, and all passengers coming into this arrival lobby are now being checked through the electronic X-ray at the entrance of the airport's terminal. Luggage are only checked manually to confirm or dispel suspicions raised by the machine. With closed-circuit television CCTV, security cameras strategically mounted to ensure wider coverage and safety, passengers say the challenges of unpredictable schedules and uncomfortable check-in and ticketing have fizzled, while electronic signages are now better, giving passengers fantastic direction.
Doing it at the entrance, the beeping and all, I think is just the best.
Before it was a bit of a problem, now, especially security-wise, everything is very safe.
The executive order on ease of doing business was launched in July 2017 in Lagos. Elizabeth Ewuga, NTN News.
For years now, we have been hearing of the great industrial benefits Nigeria stands to gain if the Ajaokuta Steel Company project comes to fruition. Now the question is, how come the complex is still not in production? Well, Kogi Elders Forum have visited the complex and pledged commitment towards providing moral and technical support needed to break new grounds. Spokesman of the forum, Julius Elupu, stated this during the fact-finding visit. Charles Alpha was there and now reports.
The need to encourage skills and performance at the highest level, provide and maintain necessary advice and moral support formed the basis for the emergence of Kogi Elders Forum. It is in line with this mandate that the forum, led by the chairman, Julius Elupo, was at Ajaokuta Steel Company to acquaint themselves with the present state of the steel company and what it takes to bounce back to full operation.
You see, this should be the best the nucleus of Nigerian development worldwide. It should be worldwide. They will recognize that a place like here to Okene is all industries. Here to Lokoza industries, here to Aibao industries. So I think it's a thing we should all, through prayers and all our efforts, to see that Ajaokuta becomes a reality.
Sole administrator of the steel company, Sumaila Abdul Akaba, while providing the update, told the forum that Ajaokuta Steel Company is 95.7% completed and requires the right technical skills and managerial strength to make the facility work efficiently. The power plant, which is currently generating about 55 megawatts of electricity, he said is expected to hit 110 megawatts if adequate attention is paid to it.
So extensively, we have tried to repair, refurbish this plant. It's a very good plant. They are good plants. They're in a good state. But they've been left for over 10 years not to run. And when they try to run the facility, they go.
The forum had earlier visited the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Lokoja, and the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, where they commended heads of the various establishments for their impressive work. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Traditional institutions' role in maintaining security, development, and making greater impact in governance were issues that dominated discussions at the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, South-South and South-East Chapter Consultative Meeting held in Abuja. Chimdima Ndubisi has that report.
One after the other, the traditional leaders from South, South and Southeast took their seats to deliberate on matters of national interest. Top on the agenda is peace and security of the nation, but the custodians of the traditional norms and values discussed behind closed doors. 3 hours later, the doors were opened and the monarchs, in their wisdom, resolved to work more as dependable allies in the promotion of peaceful coexistence.
We looked also at the scope of further expanding this common cause to other neighboring zones, for instance, Southwest. And then, of course, the 3 northern zones. Because security is everybody's concern, or should be everybody's concern. Development should be everybody's concern. How to eradicate grinding poverty, disease. These are things that normally vex the minds of traditional fathers.
We have straightened our house. Any moment from now, there will be a large meeting of South, South, Southeast.
Convener of the conference, pro-national integration, the king of Okori-Eleme community in Rivers State, says that working among traditional rulers is key to peaceful and harmonious nation.
The traditional rulers are the ones holding ground. Every crime is happening in communities, and communities is headed by traditional rulers. So if we don't come together and try to look at how we can be of a help to government, we will continue to be having situations, things will go out of control. We will try to look at how we can have a training and instead organize seminar. We need to update ourselves.
The meeting has rekindled the traditional institution's hope of building bridges to link every part of the country and promote national cohesion. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Up ahead, business news and stories about Nigerians who are being their neighbors' keepers. You can't afford to miss that.
From our wonderful family, meet Patty, for celebrating the high points of life with friends. And then there's me, Jolly, bringing nourishment to every gathering. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good.
Sore throats, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
I feel it. We feel it. Can you feel it? The Niger spirit. Do you feel it? Cause I feel it. We all feel it. The Niger spirit. We don't just feel it, we live it. And if you get it, you got the Niger spirit. This Niger spirit, we breathe it. Best believe it, real as my heartbeat is. The Niger spirit, you can't beat it. So even when I lose, I am not defeated. We all breathe it, we all bleed it, we all live it. The Niger spirit, the Niger spirit. We love it, we live it. Niger all the way.
Niger all the way.
Time don't reach again for the biggest event for top football matter. Now Mobile Peel and Win. And as millions of people around the world they scatter their head on top their favorite teams, Mobile won't make sure say you go hammer your own trophy big time. Whether you be mechanic, driver, even car owner. Now Mobile Peel and Win. Just buy the 4-liter size of Mobile Super 1000 lubricant. Peel the front and back labels and you go see pin number. Text Mobile plus the pin to 58123 and instanta you go win airtime. That pin where you send so go also qualify you for the raffle draw for Mobile Peel and Win promo where you fit win tear rubber motor, generator, gas cooker, motorcycle, tricycle, smartphone and other prizes there. No be small, you know. Mobile promo go shele from the 15th of May go reach 31st of August 2018. The more mobile lubricant you buy, the more your chance to win. No dull yourself, oh. Make you dey peel, dey win, dey go. Terms and conditions dey shao.
Make it mobile.
This is News Extra, reaching you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Nigeria's total export grows by 56% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2018 as equities market continues upward surge. The details with Chukunonso Nwabueze on our business news segment.
Hello and a warm welcome to Business News. The first quarter 2018 foreign trade in goods report released today by the National Bureau of Statistics showed that total exports grew by 56% year-on-year. Export of agricultural produce is put at 73.24 billion naira, representing 64% as against the 44.2 billion naira in the first quarter of 2017. Raw materials worth 32.13 billion naira were exported in the first quarter of 2018 as against 22.13 billion naira in 2017. On the other hand, value of imported agricultural goods in first quarter of 2018 declined by 18.90% of 184.49 billion naira as against the fourth quarter of 2017 of 227.49 billion naira. Meanwhile, Nigeria has recovered 30 billion naira from individuals and corporate bodies in the Voluntary Access and Income Declaration Scheme, VADE. Presenting certificates of compliance on behalf of the Minister of Finance, Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Babatunde Fowler, said, so far, more than 19 million persons are now tax compliant, an improvement from the 14 million before the tax amnesty.
And Nigeria, as a nation, will commence the automatic exchange with treaty partners in 2019. And we have started to put in place infrastructure, taking into consideration the requirements from the states. We have made provisions for states to also play a very important role in this exercise.
Fowler said government has gone into international collaborative efforts to ensure that there is no hiding place for tax avoiders. And the equities market continued its gaining streak, with the Nigerian Stock Exchange All-Share Index appreciating by 1.53%. Financial services sector had the most traded stocks, with Zenith Bank, Fidelity Bank, and United Bank for Africa topping the chart. Nigerian Breweries PLC earned 5 naira 5 kobo to lead the gainers table, while Okomu Oil, Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, and May and Baker Nigeria PLC topped the losers list. That does it on Business News. I am Chukunonso Mwabweze. Thanks for being there.
There is no field of endeavor that Nigerians are not experts in. In fact, someone once said, if all Nigerians use their expertise positively, the country will compete favorably with the Asian tigers. ICT is one area that Nigerians are known for the world over. The problem is, it is not always for the positive things. In this next report, Julieta Aino tries to explain the latest telecom fraud going on during international calls emanating from outside the country. The sum total is that unknown persons illegally terminate trunk calls by making them look like local calls.
Violet Okoro has loved ones living in Europe and America. She says for a while now, she has noticed that calls coming from her family and friends outside Nigeria have been displaying local Nigerian numbers on her phone.
I always get surprised. I will say, are you calling from Nigeria? Are you in Nigeria? What's the app? They will say, no, that is from international. I will say, wow, Nigerian number is showing on my phone.
It appears this situation is not peculiar to Violet alone.
Haven't noticed that I have to pick calls from unknown numbers. Yes, some of them might be scam, which has happened to me like quite a number of times, but I don't have a choice.
It's making us to be priests in the hand of 419. And oftentimes it causes problem between us and our friends, our families abroad, because they will have called several times and they will tell you that they've been calling, but you said that you have not seen the call, just because it's displaying Nigerian number.
They now use technology to illegally terminate international calls and defraud telecom companies of the proper call termination rates. Experts call it SIM box fraud. It is associated with call refiling and call masking.
They have a specialized box for doing that. It's connected to the internet. So instead of your call coming in via the telco, it comes over the internet. What they do also is to route the call through Nigerian SIM cards, and thereby it makes it look as if the call is actually a local call.
Analysts say as much as 70% of international call traffic is terminated on illegal routes, costing the country billions of dollars.
NCC so far has been able to, they issued strong warning to some companies, they revoked some licenses for some companies.
The fraudsters continue to up their games. So basically, the institutionalized setups should also up their games.
While trying to get clarification on some of the issues raised by Nigerians during this report, we made numerous attempts to get answers from the Nigerian Communications Commission, but all our efforts to reach them for comments or get their take on the issue of illegal call termination were unsuccessful. It turns out that this development has some serious security implications on Nigerians.
Your calls can be recorded via this medium.
In Abuja, Julieta Aino, NTA News.
The Ogun State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Industry for agro-based funding to civil servants in the state, with a view to improving socio-economic development. 340 civil servants were the first set of beneficiaries. They are to assist in boosting small and medium-scale enterprises in Ogun State.
Concerned about a number of our youths, young men and women that are moving up and down in terms of working in Lagos. We're also bothered about the plight of our brothers and sisters that are in Onitsha and Anambra State, who are doing Okada and thereby exposing their lives to a lot of dangers. And so we've been able to lift 400 of them out of such dangers by buying brand new keke napep, 400 of them.
the formal memorandum of understanding execution ceremony for the 4 billion naira agro-based matching fund for civil servants of Ogun State. This is the first time this is happening in this country.
Akim Dairo, who monitored the signing of the MOU, reports that the agreement is on a single-digit interest rate, payable in 5 years. There have been concerns in recent times on the adverse effect of plastic materials and products on human health and the environment. Now, talking of plastics, remember the story of the plastic rice that went viral? But do you know that storing food items, including crops, in propylene bags of sacks has its own negative impact? In this next report, Musa Baba Aliyu takes a look at the culture of food storage in Nigeria as the African Union sets to ban the use of propylene bags for crops.
Plastic or polythene bags are probably the cheapest gift one can get when you buy anything in any market in the country. But here in Wuse Market, many are of the view that plastic bags are affordable and easy to carry items within and outside the market.
Our goods will not be easy for us to carry around without the polythene bags. It's actually very important for us because when we buy things, there is no other place to put them if not the polythene bags.
Even now, so we go put it inside the leather after we go put it inside the cooler, so may no come
But while environmentalists express concern about the side effects of the plastic bag to the environment, agriculturists, on the other hand, are worried about the dangers inherent in storing or cooking food items in polythene bags.
I've made a point before about making moi in cellophane bags. At that temperature of over 100 degrees in the pot, you are ingesting dioxin.
As they warned against the use of plastic bags in storing food items, agriculturists are also advocating the use of jute bags or paper bags.
In the propylene bags, polypropylene bags, they can sweat. You know what I mean is that the moisture content, when heat is generated, the preparation that is coming from the seed has some level of moisture, and it can wet the seed and permit molds, fungi to grow.
Nigeria will soon come up with a policy that will guide against the use of plastic bags for agricultural produce as recommended by the African Union. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Well, there may be a lot of excitement for travelers around the countryside, particularly the agricultural axis between Abuja, Kefi, Akwanga, and Makurdi, which road infrastructure the federal government approved for upgrade to stimulate economic growth and social cohesion. But while expectations are high for construction to start, motorists plying the Lafia-Makurdi route are seriously concerned about the present state of some portions of the road and the prospect of deterioration due to the rainy season. Hamza Musa Makarfi tells us about it.
The distance may be short, linking the two state capitals of Lafia and Makurdi as the bad portions slows down the trip. The bridge at Ungwansile community on the Benue side is anything but good for the motorists. Water storm has eaten half of the road and is dangerously prone to accidents. Motorists drive with caution.
The first time this road was cut, he gave one motor that load pepper from Boko to Abuja. He enter inside this pit here. And common accident where they follow bush, then plenty.
And before things get out of hand, I think the government should do something about it. If I know they will say it's federal road, but I don't know who is the federal. The states, we are the people using it. So if the state can come in.
Plenty people are dying here. Even day before yesterday, one of our motor come fall here.
Sometimes calling attention to a problem may be inadequate, but what contribution one makes towards finding temporary solution speaks volume. Towards Lafia at Bukankoto community is another very bad bridge.
Now, if a bridge is expected to provide
a seamless connection between one point and another is anything to go by, then here that bridge is absent. Everything about this facility is compromised. This resident says the community lives in fear. An accident can happen at the spot, as he appeals for urgent attention to fix it. This is what the authorities are doing to reclaim the portion of the road by building very strong foundation. From Lafia, Hamza Musa Magadfi, NTA News.
More than 2,000 persons in Kano Municipal Area Council have benefited from a Ramadan gesture from President Buhari's personal assistant on broadcast media, Shaban Ibrahim Sharaɗa. Presenting the items in Kano, Shaban Sharaɗa described the gesture as his own way of putting a smile on the faces of the less privileged during this holy season. Abdullahi Mustafa reports on this and other community development services of the presidential aid.
This health center is the only facility serving the Sharaɗa community in Kano Municipal Area Council. It recently received a facelift from one of the community members and personal assistant to the president on electronic media, Shaban Sharaɗa. This is in addition to sets of hospital furniture and medical consumables he donated to support indigent patients. The handing over of the facilities was witnessed by Emir Muhammad Sanusi II, Accountant General of the Federation Ahmad Idris, and Secretary to Kano State Government Usman Alhaji, who represented Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. The ceremony also saw the official graduation of 400 women drawn from the 13 wards of Kano Municipal Council, who were trained and empowered in various income generation activities by the presidential aid. The presidential media assistant Shaban Sharaɗa, who described the gesture as his personal contribution towards achieving government's desire at ensuring robust education and health systems, also announced the formation of a mutual health association that will identify 1,000 indigent patients who will be granted one-year health insurance. Also in the spirit of Ramadan, Shaban Sharaɗa donated more than 2,000 bags of rice to communities across the 13 wards of Kano Municipal Council. This is in addition to dozens of wrappers donated to ward executives of the APC and their spouses.
By that, you are alleviating poverty, you are reducing poverty, and you are helping people, and you're making people to be happy. Because most of the crimes that are committed is because of lack of what to do.
Shaban Ibrahim Sharaɗa is one of our illustrious sons. We are proud of him because of his tremendous assistance to the youths, especially on employment.
Beneficiaries, community leaders, and political office holders who witnessed the distribution commended the benevolentness of the personal assistant to the president on electronic media, Shaban Ibrahim Sharaɗa, and urged other politicians to emulate. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And as part of efforts towards complementing the federal government's commitment in supporting families affected by Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast, furthermore, 3 additional financing has created employment opportunities for the children of internally displaced persons being hosted in Taraba State. Murtala Aminu Mutumbiu reports that the initiative under Fadama Vanguard program will commit the affected children in daily pay community development surveys aimed at improving their livelihood within their host communities.
Fadama Vanguard, which is part of the Cash for Work program of Fadama 3 Additional Financing 2, is aimed at providing opportunities for children of internally displaced persons in Taraba State to get cash in exchange for labor and participate in community development programs such as tree planting, soil conservation, environmental sanitation, child care and nutrition, as well as capacity building exercises. The program has already started with tree planting campaign and distribution of materials to the participating youths to enhance their performance. While launching the program, the national coordinator of Fadama 3, Mr. Tayo Adeumi, said the program is designed to benefit about 12,000 households across the Northeast and is targeting over 1,800 youths and women in Taraba State. Mr. Tayo Adeumi said the program is an impetus for persons affected by Boko Haram insurgency to invest into the community and provide immediate labor employment for the returnees and IDPs to bridge their income gap.
To date, Taraba State Fadama Coordinating Office has made a remarkable achievement on the project implementation, as 67 communities were identified for supporting, leading to the production of 67 community action plans for funding support.
Other speakers commended Fadama 3 additional financing too for creating job opportunities for the children of IDPs in the Northeast, pointing out that the program will improve the economic base of the affected families. Children of the families affected by the insurgency, who are the target beneficiaries of Fadama Vanguard, expressed happiness, stressing that the initiative is a clear demonstration of love and support to them. In Jalingo, Murtala Aminu Mutumbiu, NTA News.
In a related development and a sequel to the presidential directive that food items and other perishable goods seized by the Nigerian Customs Service be distributed to internally displaced persons nationwide, the body responsible for the execution of the National Assignment National Logistics Committee has distributed 10,653 50 kg bags of rice and other items to 3,000 internally displaced persons at the International Christian Center, Benin City. Adekule Adeyeye was there. And now...
These are internally displaced persons from Goza local government in Borno State. They have been in this center since 2014. Grace James, 20, and Philmon Usman, 21, are among the 3,000 internally displaced persons that came to the camp dejected. The presidential directive is obviously the respite they have long waited for. They say this has impacted immensely on their lives, and for many of them, it has created an opportunity to nurse greater dreams, such as higher education.
The change has really benefited me. I want to become a medical doctor.
It has been many changes in area of education, in area of standard of living.
It was quite the celebration when the team from Customs arrived at the camp. Chairman National Logistics Committee Abdulkadri Azarema, who is an assistant comptroller of Customs, described the exercise, which began last year, as quite impactful.
It's an indication that the federal government is aware that IDPs are living in Benin City as the International Christian Center, and is doing everything possible to provide for means of sustenance.
Other items distributed to the internally displaced persons include tomato pastes, vegetable oil, drinks, toiletries, clothes, and shoes. The team from Customs is making its next stop at internally displaced persons camps in the Northeast. From Benin, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
We'll now take another break, but don't go away. More interesting stories are coming up. For example, who is the latest entrant into the APC national chairmanship race? Find out when we return.
Helen! Your kitchen gets 10 out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1. It is clean. But not perfect 10. Better than my detergent and bleach? Impossible. Challenge? Try the new Apic 10X.
Compared to bleach and detergent, Apic sticker formulation removes yellow stains times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow.
Now you also take that
Apic 10X challenge.
Also available in 200 ml pack.
Buy Niger, not for you and me.
In partnership with the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, and NTA TV Enterprises, Seed Concept Limited presents BuyNiger.com. BuyNiger.com is a one-stop e-commerce portal and public procurement referral for made-in-Nigeria products and services. The portal is a unique platform designed to address some of the core challenges confronting local patronage and micro, small and medium enterprise development in Nigeria. To register your company, products and services on the portal, please call 080-7392-1111 or 080-7392-3333 or visit www.buyniger.com to grow and diversify our economy. Buy made in Nigeria. Buy Niger. Create jobs.
Nigeria will survive. Nigeria must not fail. It is time for us to buy made in Nigeria. Made in Nigeria.
Madam.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three put
You are welcome, sir.
as usual, yeah? I was.
You take that one. Yes. Take that one. We don't understand. We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have. You don't have.
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mobu to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Experience, they say, is the best teacher.
They hold us from the sea. Thank God that we came back home. They should not go there because it's not good. It's a very bad place. So they just may have us.
Even now, sir, if they are shooting the boat they are going to use to go Italy, may they stop it. Our country is good. Our country is a blessed country. Now I know our country is a blessed country. I know before I for not travel from Nigeria to Libya. I know how much I spent.
Let these personal experiences serve as a lesson to all who would repeat their mistakes. A word is enough for the wise.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Glad to have you join us again on News Extra. Now, the beauty of Nigeria's democracy is said to be in the checks and balances, plus patriotism. Yes, some see it as cardinal principle that promotes good governance for overall growth. This school of thought believe will work out well for Nigeria for unprecedented growth. The narrative they believe should be that of sincerity of purpose to consolidate on the gains of democracy, especially in the last 3 years. These were views shared by discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live. It's over now to Talatu Ezirike for more.
Nigeria's democracy, many observed, has continued to grow with recorded gains, especially in the last 3 years. Analysts say the achievements include infrastructural development, social investment program, and steady economic growth that has taken Nigeria out of worst recession, as well as the fight against insurgency and corruption. The success they attribute to the enabling environment provided by the people's-oriented government that speaks volumes with commendations from bodies like the World Bank.
We also need to work towards building what I call shared national vision. Because it is when we have a shared national vision, that is when whoever is there will not matter. We must restore values in a system.
If anybody thinks that this government is after opposition, someday, one day we will not be in power. Let them go after us. So that someday, one day, this vicious cycle will stop.
Why can't we try another aspect of fighting corruption? Preventive.
For others, the need to promote right ideals and build strong institutions is key.
To not ethnicize corruption. In Nigeria, they see it as betrayal if you are not supporting a man from your own area. Yes. They say you are betraying. And that is the kind of mentality we must change.
I believe that we have some control in terms of participation of the people in the affairs of the nation. As far as I'm concerned, those are all progressive moves.
It is quite obvious that Nigerians are in for better deal with dividends of democracy if they pursue the path for progress. Talatu Ezirike, NTA News.
Many thanks, Talatu. Now, it was a night of cultural fiesta in Enugu as the Nigerian Breweries PLC, makers of live continental beer, brought together renowned artists in a cultural extravaganza. The show, second in the series, was tagged High Life Fest 2018. Correspondent Beauty Egobamian has that report.
Nigerian Breweries, as part of its social corporate responsibility, is giving back to the society by investing young talents across the country and in turn empowering them. The night brought out the best in the young artists who are hungry for fame. The 5 performing artists sang out their souls while displaying their dexterity on stage, thrilling the crowd to win the coveted prize. Equally entertaining was the performance of 4 dance troupes who came on stage twisting and wriggling themselves with fast-moving steps in response to the beat. Masters of the game, Onyeka Wenu and Brachimeze, also added pep to the show and mentored the young artist. Then came the judges.
I want to tell live Lagabia, and I want to say a very big thank you to them for making this opportunity, creating this platform.
I'm so happy because life has really empowered youth.
It is a platform to empower the budding Igbo youth who has the talent of music.
The show featured the unveiling of Fino, the brand ambassador. The word from the Nigerian breweries, makers of live continental beer, to upcoming artists is to be creative so they can be empowered. In Enugu, Beauty Egobami, NTA News.
Well, it's barely 2 weeks to the APC National Convention, and the political landscape is witnessing several activities by members across the country. A few weeks ago, a former governor of Edo State joined the chairmanship race. Last week, the incumbent chairman said he would not be contesting again. And now, a former governor of Cross River State, Clement Ibri, has entered the race. Umar Basi Edet says he made his intention known at a party town hall meeting in Calabar, the Cross River State capital.
That was the excitement that greeted the formal declaration of intent by former governor of Cross River State, Chief Clement Ibri, to run for the office of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Armed with an 11-point agenda, Chief Ibri promised a leadership where every voice counts.
We cannot take party structures and dash individuals. This party must be run in such a way that everyone will have a sense of ownership around it.
Born out of an undying love for the APC and the country, the declaration was preceded by a town hall meeting with participants drawn from various political, economic, social, and religious affiliations, charting the way forward for the ruling party.
Clement Ibri is a man who has no blemish. He is scandal-free and he is capable of doing this job.
If we have the right management at the higher level, the future is very bright. We will start to benefit.
An astute administrator and journalist, former Governor Clement Ibri was also endorsed by representatives of Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba communities. In Calabar, Umar Basidet, NTA News.
One more lap, as we are not done. Just stay on as we finish the race. We have some sports stories and the weather forecast. Join us again.
It is with our deepest sorrow that we announce the death of our beloved husband, father, grandfather, brother, and